Hi, it's Nick from Best Value Vacs. I'm one of the extraction techs with this company, and I'm going to give you a little rundown on what we do. So, first and foremost, we specialize in vacuum equipment, which in this industry is being used to degas our solvents from our extract. So that's really the very basics of it, but since we have been progressing and getting more into the industry, we have started getting into the extraction gear. So I have with me our very basic closed loop extractor. This is the base model of our products and probably the most commonly used of what we have. So to begin with, this is a safe way to do a hydrocarbon extraction, be it butane, propane, ether, whichever your solvent you want to use. This is the safest way to do it because everything is contained within the system. If it's run properly, nothing will off-gas out of the system. So first and foremost, we will take our system and pack our column up. So open up the system, pack the column, and assemble it as you see here. Before anybody should ever run in these systems, you should have some sort of way to pressurize it with an inert gas, be it an air compressor or more preferably nitrogen. This way we can make sure that all of our seals are not leaking so that we can do a safe extraction. Once we found that our systems are sealed, release the nitrogen and pull a vacuum on the system. So the way a passive system will work is our solvent is going to chase the cold, low pressure zone. So wherever we want our solvent to end up, we will chill the base or chill the receiving end of our solvent. So first off, we would start with our collection base in ice to create the cold, low pressure zone on this bottom end. That way, when we introduce our solvent from our collection, it'll chase through the column and end up in this base. Once we have emptied our solvent, which you can be checking by weight or by volume, empty our solvent into our base, it is now time to do the recovery process. So as I was saying before, the butane is always going to chase the cold. So the way we could start getting our butane back into our can is by now putting this onto ice and warming this so that our solvent will start to evaporate. And as the solvent evaporates, it becomes higher pressure, so you will watch your pressure gauge increase in pressures as the solvent's evaporating. Our hose would be moved down to this lower port where the solvent will chase through the hose back into the cold tank. That way it can recondense where we can have it later for later use. This is really the safest way to do any kind of butane extraction. It's really the preferred way. We're trying to push people away from the open so that we can keep everybody as safe as possible. Once everything has recovered, we will watch our pressures go down because there should no longer be pressure in this base. Once that's done, open your valves up to let any residual gases out and open this base up. Your extract will be on the inside. And now it is time to go to our purging. So we have the basic options of purging like vacuum chambers and such, which could be seen off to the side here or over there. But for our more advanced users, we now have ovens. So with the oven, what we're going to be doing is we're going to use negative pressure to cause the butane to evaporate and expand into a gas. So the very basics of it, we want to make sure that we're at a really nice low temperature as to not affect our extract. I recommend about 90 degrees to 100. This way we're keeping the low boiling terpenes intact in our product, which is really what we're going for. So at first you'll see your material muffin up in here and expand really large. And this is the large majority of your gas escaping from the product. Once it is settled down, you can burp the oven and re-pull it back to let any residual gases that's flowing around in the headspace to get out, or you can leave it sit. It is recommended that you purge your products for at least 72 hours. This way we can ensure that the large majority of the gases have purged out, leaving a relatively solvent-free extract. A lot of dispensaries, you'll notice on their packaging, it'll show 96 plus hours, 100 plus hours, which kind of gives you the idea that this isn't something that'll happen overnight. This is something that will take time and you should never try to rush it. The oven is controlled through here. You can set whatever temperature you want on this controller, be able to read through the gauge. and it's pretty much it.